you going?
Hey.
So do you want to sort of introduce your project and what you're doing?
Mm.
So Brupeg is a collaboration of a large and growing team of volunteers that are putting together a boat with us. Originally, Jess and I bought Brupeg she was a sunk fishing trawler. It was completely stripped out. They were about to scrap her. It only had a prop and a shaft, and that was it. And then from there, we've together and with our volunteer team, we've basically built everything around us. And part of the plan with Brupeg is to create a social boat and to actually bring as many people we can to some of the areas of the world that Brupeg is built to go to. So we're heading down to some of the colder parts of the world, and a lot of the systems are sort of designed with that in mind.
Where did you find the boat?
We actually bought it in Bundaberg. So she sunk in the river 100 metres from here, and was laying over in the river for 2 months, and then she was pulled out and sort of sat, I suppose, for about a year. Pretty much sat for a year until they figured out what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
Then we saw her advertised on the internet, and snapped her up.
Where did you find it advertised?
We actually found it on Gumtree, I remember, it's kind of an ironic thing, I remember seeing it and thinking, oh my god, whoever buys that is insane. Can you imagine how much work that is? I was like, what a nut job that we buy that. And then I sort of pondered it. I was like, it's quite a pretty boat, really. And then, about a year later we owned it.
So how long have you had it now?
Coming up to 4 years?
4 years now, yeah.
4 years.
But we had it for a year before we worked on it.
Yeah.
We had it in storage for a year while we saved up and got ready.
Yeah.
And when do you think it'll be complete, or when do you think it will be in the water?
So it's effectively August now. I'm hoping that we'll be in the water. I'm useless when it comes to estimate. I've said
every time we estimate.
Every time.
Wrong.
I'm so crap at giving timelines.
We're aiming for the end of the year.
Yeah.
But we're thinking it'll stretch to
Don't tell them which year.
That's a good idea. I think it'll probably stretch for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because when we think we're ready, there's probably something. So we're assuming.
So the plan is to get it in the water, what we call dump and run. So we're going to get it in the water basically in a capable of being moved state. So the motor will run, and we'll be able to turn it on. The electrics and everything will all be going, but it won't have any insulation. It won't have any panels, and there'll be nothing inside it, and so on. And then once we've in the water, and we can start doing the internal fit out once we're floating. Yeah.
And you've got an alternative fuel supply than diesel as well, if you still run this boat, haven't you?
Yeah, so Brupeg is about 98% carbon neutral. It runs on waste cooking oil. So we've got a couple of episodes coming out where we're showing the full conversion from running 100% on diesel to being able to run 100% on waste cooking oil, including making of the fuel, collecting the fuel, like everything that's needed to actually do it. Brupeg, there's a couple of ways that you can do it when you modify a diesel engine. You can modify the fuel to run in a stock standard diesel, or you can modify which is biodiesel, or sometimes known as B100, so 100% biodiesel. Or you can modify the engine to run on waste cooking oil. So that's what we've done. So it's a little bit more investment up front, but the fuel cost is massively reduced. And because Brupeg holds quite a large amount of fuel, so currently it holds 16,000 litres of liquid. We've dropped the fuel capacity down to 9,000 litres, so we have 7,000 of water. But when we go down to the ice, we're going to be adding additional tanks, putting a water maker on and converting all tanks to fuel. So we'll be taking and having a couple of bladders.
It'll be about
23,500 litres in tanks, and then there's two 2,000 litre bladders, so it'll be close to 27,500 litres of fuel.
Long range.
Yeah.
So, what locations are you planning to go to?
Great Barrier Reef. It's the first stop.
Yeah. So
definitely.
Yeah, it's been one of your dreams, isn't it? So yeah, do you want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, we're so close. What is it? 40 miles from here. So definitely that. And then it's looking like we were thinking we might cross over to Chile and go down to Antarctica, which is the other big sort of focus at the moment for us.
Yeah.
But we're actually thinking we'll go from our home country, New Zealand. So we'll cross across the Tasman and go from Bluff, leave from Bluff and head down. But of course you have to do it when it's open, when it's possible, which is summer, so it won't be till the next year. but yeah, this year is all about Australia. But so it's looking like we're going to go to the Great Barrier, then we'll go down the coast, spend some time down Tasmania, and then cross the Tasman and spend some time around the bottom of New Zealand, and maybe some of the islands around there.
There's quite a few islands around the bottom of NZ that we want to check out as well. So I used to work in the Southern Ocean on trawlers, and a lot of the time down there was spent sort of near and around some of New Zealand's offshore islands. So there's quite an island chain that sort of extends south. So we want to go and a lot of them you can't get onto. So unless you've got DOC permit or Department of Conservation permission, you're physically not allowed to land on them because they're breeding sanctuaries for albatross and seals and penguins and all sorts of Antarctic creatures. So they control it pretty harshly, which I think is great because it basically stops pests and parasites and things from wiping out those populations.
But we can get close,
we can absolutely, we can get close, we can fly the drone over, we can get some great shots.
And so Antarctica, and then we'll make our way north. And the goal is to get to the Arctic and actually do the Northwest Passage eventually. That's one of our other goals, but we're not sure. Between those two spots, we're not sure what's going to happen.
There's a lot of planet between those two.
Yeah.
You haven't spoken about the people that you've got involved as crew, have you?
We've actually, one of the main focuses for us is it's a big boat, and it's going to be quite a comfortable boat and a strong boat. So we're really wanting to have people come with us on different lengths of journeys around the world. So it looks like we've actually started already. A couple of people, actually a group of people are interested in the Antarctica trip already have contacted us.
And that's, I suppose, the other thing is because the plan is to sort of roam globally, and we'd be letting people know where we're going to be, well into the advance, so people can start to actually say, oh, actually, I'd like to be on that leg or go between these two places or whatever it may be. So it gives people a way to explore the bits that they want to see without having to buy the boat and do all of the other stuff to do it. They can just sort of fly in, go and have their adventure on a boat, a nice small boat, so they're part of the crew. It's not like being on a 1,000-person cruise ship or anything like that.
And that's an important aspect of it. When people come on board, they will be part of the crew. They'll be working with us alongside us.
They'll be doing watches, and they'll be throwing the fenders over the side. They'll be doing all of the stuff necessary to run the boat.
What's the most amount of people you would like to have on the boat at any one time?
It depends on the trip. The more hazardous trips, smaller numbers. So we're thinking a maximum of 8 or 9 on those trips, but we're probably up to 13.
12 to 13.
So what dimensions are that is the boat?
The boat, it's 57 foot long. It's 19 feet wide, I think. Just under 5 meters, so 19 roughly feet wide. I'm not sure what its draft is because we've never had it in the water, but I think it's between 6 and 8 feet. And
it's at 60 ton when it's full.
Bone dry, it's 40 ton, and then when we're full, we'll be 65 ton roughly.
Once we finish all the work.
And thickness of the steel?
So it's 6mm 250 grade mild steel, so just standard mild steel. And we're going to be doing some ice strengthening around the front. So I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there's a particular type of steel that is designed for icebreakers, so it performs really well in cotton steel, I think it is, and it performs really well at low temperatures. So we're going to be basically plating the front half of the boat with that, and depending on the thickness of steel that we add to the front will depend on if we do the ribs or not. So one of the plans is adding a second rib in between each of the existing, and then adding a thinner plate on the outside.
But we've been advised we're strong enough, we don't need to worry about it. But we're just wanting it to be as safe and hardy as possible, so we're free to roam where we want.
And the boat's built pretty tough as well. Like it's not going to be a princess of a boat. Like we will be bashing ice. If we get stuck, we'll be ramming the ice as hard as we can. So we need the boat to be strong enough to be able to take.
We're not going to get stuck, but we're not going to get stuck. Of course, if we do, we'll video it all. So a lot about people, and the build has been a lot about people, and we set out knowing we're responsible for this decision. If we have to, we'll do it ourselves. But people have been so great and really wanting to get involved.
It's more enjoyable with other people.
It really is, And the build stage, it's not just the travel. People are interested in.
All right, Damien and Jess and the dog Mishka, she's gone. Thank you very much for that, and we'll put up a link for your channel as well on our channel.
No worries, thank you.
Thanks.